Welcome back to the DevVlog. Today we're going to be in Unity again, and this time we're going to be adding some animation to a UI element. All right, here we have the game set up, and here's our little button here, and people aren't noticing it. Maybe people aren't seeing it, so we want to draw a little attention to it. Okay, let's add a little bit of an animation to it. So let's create an animation. Animation, boom, and let's call it button bob. It's gonna make the button bob up and down. And in order to apply an animation to an object, we need an animation controller. So let's create an animator controller. We'll do one of those two. We'll call it the language button controller. All right, so the language button controller, we're going to put it on the language button, and we're going to put the button bob animation on the controller. So there's the animator controller page right there. Only has the one state. That's for now, at least that's all we're going to do. We're going to put it on this button. The button has a root object, and then it has the actual UI element underneath the root, and that is a trick I highly recommend you adopt as well. I'm going to apply the animation onto this image, not the button itself. The image is a sub piece. Long story about how that's been arranged, but if you want to animate something, animating relative to its parent object is what you want to do. So it has to have a parent object of some kind. So if you just have a root level object of some kind, you want to throw that under just a parent object, center it on there, just so you have something to animate. Let's apply the animator to the object and hit go. Now this won't do anything because the animation doesn't do anything. So we will, I'm going to mark it as a loop. I want the animation to loop, and let's edit the animation. We're going to go Window, Animation, Animation. Bring up the animation window. Let's make it a little smaller. And you can see I've got the button bob animation selected. Let's do this. Nope, I have to select my object, the object that I want to animate, and now I can hit the record button. Let's go to, let's say, the halfway point. Let's have it be 1 second long. And I want the animation to bob. Let's say like that. And then I want it to come back up at the end of the animation. Okay, let's take a look. Zoop, zoop. All right, let's just hit play. Looks fine. That'll kind of draw some attention to the object. Let's see that in game. And there it is. So the animated object now is animated, and it still works. All right, awesome. I do want to take it a little bit to the next level here. I'm no animator myself, but I do know a thing or two about squash and stretch, so I want to see this button as it comes down, like it's going to hit an imaginary something. This debug button underneath it won't be there, but let's imagine it hits something right about there maybe, and then it will squash down into it and then sort of spring back up. Just give it a little bit more life. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking right about there. It hits the object, and then as it gets down, it'll squish. So how much is it going to squish? Let's try 4 pixels. 4 pixels shorter, 44. And so it's going to squish. I don't know if I even see that. When it squishes, it should also stretch. Oh, I'm not in record mode. That's why. Take that back. Record mode. 44. There you go. And so now it's going to squish as it hits it, but I want it to feel like it hit something right there. So I'll put a key here. So from this whole zone, it hasn't hit anything yet, and then right here it hits something and squishes. And we'll have it unsquish at the same parallel here, so 48. So there we go. We'll have it coming down and it squishes, and then unsquishes as it springs back up. Okay, what else though? I think that when it squishes, it should stretch to give it that cartoony feel. So I subtracted 4 from the height. Let's add 4 to the width, and we'll match those same keys because it hasn't hit yet. Okay, and so now down it comes, it squishes and springs back up. All right, let's see this playing in the game. Okay, so I'm no pro animator, but the beauty of doing it this way is that now that I've got this thing, I just have to tell my actual animator where it is and tell them all they have to do, watch this video and do what I did, which is select your UI element, bring up the window for the animation, select the button bob animation, it's the only animation on here, and feel free to animate this thing to your heart's content. Do whatever you want, make it wiggle and shimmer and shake and whatever you want to do. Whatever you think looks good, you just edit this animation and run with it. And that's going to really empower my UI animators to do whatever they feel. Okay, one thing that's kind of bugging me is that when I open it, it's still doing its thing. So once I've clicked it, I don't want to draw more attention to it anymore. I want it to stop. So let's come up with a way to make it stop. I'm just going to create another animation. Button stop. And throw that on here. And let's say make a transition, I don't know. Let's make a parameter. Let's make a Boolean parameter and call doBob. So if doBob is true, I want the button to bob. If doBob is false, I want the button to stop. So let's default to stop and say if doBob is true, go to button bob. If doBob is false, then finish the bob. Go ahead and finish the bob and then transition to stop. Okay, and so that should be good. And now, if we go to the game and we take a look, I think we'll see that it doesn't animate because that doBob parameter is currently false. So now we just need to program a little something to toggle that variable on and off. Let's get down into scripts here. Let's add a new script. We'll call it lang button. Okay, what's it going to do? It's going to reference a public game object called lang menu. I don't think we need to start. Let's see. I'm going to say if null is not equal to end lang menu, and if m lang menu active in hierarchy, then you set doBob false. Okay, and let's default doBob to true. Maybe we'll do that in the start. Yeah, sure, why not? I just deleted the start. Let's bring it back. Set doBob to true. what I'm going to do. Okay, so I will connect this thing to the mlang menu. Let's do that. Let's put the script on the button. I'll put a public lang script, lang button. You put that on the button. And it's going to be referring to this language menu item here. And just asking if the thing becomes active at any time, we will just stop bouncing. Okay, that's easy enough, but we actually have to make it stop bouncing. So we need to get our animation controller. Is this the thing? Animation M anim. Let's say M anim equals get component animation if no not equal m anim dot set I have to go look. All right, reference time. Unity animation controller set parameter. Boom. Animation parameters manual animator set bool. That's what we're looking for. What did I put? I put animation. I want animator. 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 Dot set bool. And it was called do Bob. False. Nope, wait, we started off to true. If no, not anim dot set bool do Bob. False. Okay, let's see how we did. Okay, it's bouncing. Now let's click it, and it stops bouncing. All right, very nice. Okay, I think we're done. We're good to go, and we can check this in. Every time you open the splash page, that button is going to go ahead and start animating, and it will continue animating until somebody opens this menu, and then the button will go ahead and stop. And it will stay stopped. Awesome. So that's how you can use Unity's animation system to apply animations to UI elements very easily. You can run with this. Like, I'm immediately thinking of what other polish can we add to this? Can we do, like, this is a separate, this Spurpunk word here, the title is a separate element. We could apply an animation to that to have it, you know, drop onto the screen or zoom out onto the screen, or, you know, whatever. Super easy, just apply an animation and have it play at level start. So that'd be nice. And you know, all of your UI buttons, when you press them, maybe they could do something. Like this menu that pops open, it just appears. We could have it grow into place. We could have it, you know, slide into place, stretch out, or, you know, whatever you imagine you want it to do. You can just set that up as an animation, and then you can hand that prototype animation off to the animation team and let them get creative and really make a look and a whole extra level of polish onto your game. All right, that's animation on UI elements here in Unity. See you next time on the DevVlog.